Did it look like any of the wounds are like split open? Because you had said that it looked like stab wounds. Which way did you do it?
I didn't do this.
Okay, here's the thing. There's some things that we're gonna have to pull out. Help us through it then. Help us through it.
I am not talking to you anymore. She was not my blood daughter, but she was still a daughter to me.
What you just witnessed is the exact moment a police interrogation collapsed, and a suspect went silent. That clip comes from the real, recorded police interview of Julia Beverly, conducted by detectives from the Marion Police Department following the stabbing of an 11-year-old girl named Jade. Tonight, we are going to walk through that interrogation in its entirety. Every question, every answer, every contradiction, because understanding what happened inside that room might just be the most important part of this story. This is not entertainment. This is a documentary, a record of a real crime, a real child, and a real investigation. Stay with us, because nothing about what follows is simple.
All right, Julia. I know I introduced myself while I was out there at the scene. I'm Detective Geitman, and this is Detective Egemeyer with Marion PD. I'm going to record, this is audio and video recorded, so you know I'm going to also do another recording. If you would you state your name so we have voice identification?
Julia Beverly.
Can you give me your date of birth, Julia?
4/23/91.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in the court or other proceedings. You have the right to speak with an attorney before any questioning. Have him present during questioning if you wish. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Can you read me this waiver of rights?
I have read the above statement of my rights. I understand each of these rights, and bearing these rights in mind, I waive them and wish to make a statement.
Do you wish to speak with us today?
Yes.
May I get your signature right here on this line? Witness. All right. Can you start from the beginning, what you saw and what happened?
I left to go to the store in Carbondale. By the time I got to Carbondale, I realized I didn't have my cards with me. I turned around and came back home. Whenever I got home, I saw the front door was open. As I went to go in, he came out, and I tried to grab the knife from him, and at that time, just multiple things, just trying to grab him and stuff, and got cuts on my hand. At that point, he just ran off. I ran in the house, saw blood everywhere. I ran to my bathroom to grab my rag. I wiped my hand real quick because it was bleeding, and I ran to go find Jade. That's when I found her in the bathroom, and I touched her to check for pulse or anything, and I couldn't really tell. I saw all the wounds on her, and that's whenever I called 911, and then police showed up after that point, but, that's all that I know happened.
Okay. And you say that when you got there, the door was ajar? Was that the main door? The main door?
The spring door was closed.
Okay.
And when I went to open the screen door is when he came out.
Okay. And can you describe him for us?
Just black clothes. I mean, average built, maybe a little muscular, couldn't really tell. He had like a ski mask, so I could see from here, so I could tell he was white. And then he was a little taller than me, maybe a few inches or so. But I mean, it's about all I can really tell about him.
Do you remember what he was wearing, like shirt and pants, or do you know? Do you recall what he was wearing?
No, I just noticed that it was black, dark colors. That's all I could really tell. I'd say like a hoodie, jacket, or something, but that's about it.
Okay. How about shoes? Any shoe wear that you remember?
No, I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay. How about the knife? When you went in the door, can you start with a description of how you guys encountered?
Well, he was running out as I was going in. That's when I went to grab the knife. It was definitely big. I mean, it's not like a pocket knife. It was a big knife, so I'm not really sure. But
can you describe it, like color, length?
Not sure on the length. I mean, it looked like a basic knife. Looks like a kitchen knife, but it was not like a steak knife, but I don't know what they are. Like the wider knives. So it was a wide one, but not like skinny like a steak knife.
Okay. You mean the blade was wider?
Yes, the blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then when you saw Jade, how was she when you first noticed her?
She was in the tub. She was kind of like slumped over the tub. I didn't move her a lot, just enough to where I could try to check her pulse and stuff, but she was just, I don't know, just slumped over. It looked like she'd been sitting in the tub.
Okay, so she was in the tub?
Yes.
Okay. And she was slumped over?
Yeah, like head forward, slumped over.
Take a moment to absorb what Julia just described. She says she came home from a shopping trip, was intercepted by a masked intruder at her own front door, fought him for a knife, got cut in the process, and then ran inside to find her stepdaughter, 11-year-old Jade, stabbed multiple times in a bathtub. It sounds like an absolute nightmare, but detectives are trained not to accept a story at face value. Especially in the first hours of an investigation, they will probe every detail, every timeline, every inconsistency. And as we're about to see, there are quite a few things that begin to raise questions. Let's continue.
What did you notice on Jade? How?
I could see her back. I could tell the wounds on her back right away. That was the first thing I noticed and saw. She was wet, like she'd been in the tub, like not just sitting, but like her whole body was wet. So almost like she had been laying at one point.
Okay.
But because her hair was wet.
Okay.
Her whole body outfit was wet.
So she was clothed while in the tub? It's not like she was in the shower taking a bath or in the shower?
She was clothed. She had her pajamas on.
Okay. Do you recall what pajamas she was wearing?
Not really sure.
Okay.
Something like pink.
Okay.
So I didn't really know.
Like a pink top and pink bottom, or with a one outfit?
Like a gown.
Okay, all right. Just a gown type of pajamas?
Yeah.
All right. And then is that when you called 911?
Yes, I tried to check for her pulse. I said I don't really know how. I just tried best I could.
Where did you check for a pulse?
On her neck.
On her neck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And and I couldn't really find anything, so I called 911, explained to them that someone come in, and that I found her, and that she could possibly not be breathing. And then at that point, I just kind of was waiting. I sat in the kitchen, I know. I just kind of went to shut down panic mode. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I needed to do something for her. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's my fault because I left her.
You were there with her. You were there for her.
I should have just taken her with me to the store.
I've got kids myself that seem like they're 11 going on 20. Don't beat yourself up over that.
We usually don't leave them. That's why we got them cell phones. We figured if they had the phone, they could at least call if they needed somebody.
So Jade has a cell phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of cell phone she would have?
I'm not sure what kind. For her and Jaden, we just kind of got them the cheap phones just so they had something. But I don't know what kind it is.
A smartphone or a flip phone?
Yeah, smartphone.
Okay, I just needed kind of a description of it. Sorry. You stepped outside when Marion police got there, but you remained in the house the whole time until...
No, yeah, I was in until they got there.
Okay, all right. And you said you were wearing shoes?
I had on flip-flops.
Okay.
And whenever I kind of like ran through the house, they kind of fell off.
Okay.
So I was barefoot too.
Okay, all right. And then when you were outside, you were barefoot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you were barefoot when I got there, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and the officer performed CPR on Jade and until the ambulance arrived, is that right?
I don't know. I was outside.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then, did the officer hand you a blanket, or did you grab that on your way?
No, they gave me the blanket. I grabbed the towel in my hand.
Is that when you went into your bathroom?
Yeah, I went in after my hand was cut. I went in to wipe it real quick, kept rag on it, and then I went to go find Jade.
Okay. And was that the red rag that you were holding when I got there? Okay. All right. And then, you said you had gone to Carbondale to get groceries? Is that where you...
I was Christmas shopping, yeah.
Okay. So that's not where you normally go for groceries?
No, I usually shop in town for groceries in Marion.
All right. But do you know what time you left today?
I don't know what time that was, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not real sure.
All right. And were you booking... When was it that you realized you didn't have your cards?
When I got to Walmart, pulled out my purse, and I was checking my phone, and that's when I realized I didn't have any of my cards with me.
Okay. And then you came back home?
Yeah.
Okay.
What vehicle did you drive to the Walmart?
My car.
Is that the one of the driveway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pathfinder.
Okay.
The gray Nissan Pathfinder?
Notice how the detectives are building a timeline. They need to establish when did Julia leave, how long was she gone, and more crucially, when did this supposed intruder get in? Julia says she doesn't know what time she left. She doesn't know what time she arrived at Walmart. She never went inside the store. She turned around immediately. The window of time she was away from the house is critically important, and the fact that she cannot or will not give precise times is something investigators will pick up on. Let's keep watching.
Can you give me the address again?
11304 Songbird.
And is it a rental or is that your house?
It's our house.
Your house? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it in you and Mike's name?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And his name is Gregory Mike Beasley?
Is it Mike or Michael?
Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's his birthday by chance, do you know? What's his phone number? And what's your phone number, Julia? We've got, thank you, Saul, we had one K-9 unit out there. We've also got other, I didn't know if you'd seen that. We have one K-9 unit out there before you left and were brought over here. And we've got other K-9 units that are still in the area looking for this individual. We're trying to get as good of a description of him as possible. So that's why I was asking so many questions about, you know, clothing or if he spoke or did you happen to see any hair, facial or head hair on an individual?
Eyebrows, like a blondish brown.
Okay.
Dark, kind of.
Could you see what color his eyes were?
I don't remember, no.
Alright, but you could only see the eyes through the ski mask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe the ski mask? Was it only open here? Is it one of them that, like, the mouth's open? But...
No, just eyes open.
Okay.
So it was a full open eye area or just two eye holes?
No, full open eye.
Okay.
Across.
Alright. And then you said he was a little bit taller than you?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me how tall you are?
5 foot.
Okay, so he was a little over 5 foot, possibly?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know of Jade to have any altercations with anybody recently?
No. I mean, she's 11. Unless she's talked to her dad about anything, but she hasn't said anything to me. She seems like she's doing good in school and everything. Like, she doesn't seem like she's having any type of problems with anybody.
Okay.
So I just don't know.
Alright.
Is she going to school, like actually going to the building, or is she doing that remote learning?
No, she's in person learning.
Sorry.
Has she mentioned any arguments with friends, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
When you got back to the house, and you said the door was shut?
The front door was open, the screen door was shut.
Okay. Can you describe, like, when you made contact with the guy that was running from the house? Just, like, well, did he just push you? Was there a fight?
It was, as soon as I opened the screen door, it was almost like he was leaving, but he ran into me at that time, so I just kind of tried to stop him, tried to grab the knife, do anything. But yeah, it was basically as I was opening the door, he was coming out.
Okay.
So the altercation between you and him was in the doorway area, right inside the doorway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. And there were no words spoken at that time?
Nothing.
Okay. Alright. Has Jade had no other issues at school or any issues at home between her mom or her dad? Is she really close? Who's she close to?
I say she's probably closer with her dad, but I don't really know how she is when she's with her mom either, so I'm not sure. I mean, she's probably real close with them both, but, I mean, no issues, nothing between either of them.
The detectives are widening their net here. They're asking about Jade's social world, her school, her friends, her relationships. This is standard investigative procedure. If there's a suspect beyond the home, they need to know about it. But they're also quietly assessing something else. Whether Julia, the stepmother, had any tension with the child. Notice they ask about who Jade was close to. Notice Julia positions herself as somewhat on the outside. She says Jade was probably closer with her dad. Small details. But in a homicide investigation, small details matter enormously. Let's continue.
And she stayed stays with you guys how often?
Every other week.
Okay, all right. Trying to think. Do you know if she has any boyfriends or any boys that are interested in her, or if she's been talking to anyone?
Not that I know of, but, I mean, she would have said something to us, I'm sure, if she was talking or interested in a boy, but that might be something she might have talked a little more with her mom. And whenever she's at our house, she does still talk with me about things, but I feel like sometimes she just wants to talk to her dad about it instead of me, which is understandable.
Daddy's girl.
Yeah. When me and Mike started dating, her and Jaden were both 4, so I think she kind of was attached to him, and I just kind of came in, so I think it kind of wasn't someone to talk to all the time. She always just go to him to talk if needed.
Okay. When did you and Mike start dating?
In 2013.
Okay. Did the male still have the knife when he ran away?
I don't know, because he just kind of ran past me,
Okay.
and at that point I just went in.
Okay.
I really didn't even turn around to look
Okay.
where he was or anything. I just went into the house.
Okay. Didn't know if he maybe dropped it in the doorway or threw it or something that you may have seen.
No, it wasn't in the house. I didn't see it,
Okay.
like in the doorway, so I don't know.
Okay.
Do you remember which hand he had the knife in?
The right hand.
It was his right hand?
Yes.
Okay. And you grabbed that knife?
Yes. I went to grab it with this hand first and then struggled with this one.
Okay. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
Okay. When you went to Walmart, did you go into Walmart?
No, I didn't even get out, because that's when I went to check my phone, and realized I didn't have any of my cards with me.
Okay. But you were in the parking lot?
Yeah, just in the parking lot.
Okay.
And which Walmart was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Carbondale.
Okay.
And you were there to go Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know about what time you left to go to Carbondale?
I'm not sure, honestly, what time it was.
Okay.
Did you go anywhere else before you went to Walmart
No,
when you left the house?
just to Walmart.
Just to Walmart?
Did you have to stop and get gas or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Just trying to think of the time frame that this guy may have showed up. So just trying to see what that window is. And so you pull into Walmart, realize you don't have your cards. You say you checked your phone. Okay.
Just see if I had messages or anything.
Okay.
And then turned around and went back.
Okay. Just kind of had one of those forget my card moments.
Yeah.
She never got out of the car. She drove from Merriam all the way to Carbondale, nearly 30 minutes each way. Parked at Walmart, checked her phone, realized she had no cards, and immediately turned around. She went inside no store. She has no purchase record, no camera footage from inside a store, no timestamp from a card transaction. The only evidence that she was ever at that Walmart is her own word. Detectives know this, and they're about to get more granular.
And when you left the house, was Jade asleep or was she up and around?
She was asleep. That's why I let her just stay, because I didn't want to wake her up to bring her with me. So I just let her sleep.
Did you leave her a note or anything, or?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if you had or not. Do you normally leave her a note, or?
No, usually we'll send them a text or something, which I was meant to do when I got to Carbondale, and I think I just kind of lost track and thought the cards and turned around.
Okay. All right. So you obviously weren't planning on being gone too long?
Not real long, no. Just wanted to do some quick shopping. grab a few more things.
Okay, all right. So when was the last time you spoke to Jade?
She was awake this morning, maybe 8 o'clock or so. She ate breakfast, and then she goes in her room. They usually sit in on their phones and games and stuff, so I just kind of let her stay in. Before I left, I looked in the door. She was sleeping, so I just went ahead and left.
Okay. And can you describe where Jade's bedroom is in the house?
Like, how do you mean? Like, just
Can you describe
walking
the house?
from the front door?
Yeah.
You walk in, go through the front room, through the kitchen, and then her bedroom's the first one on the left.
Okay, all right. Do you know of anybody else that might have a key to the residence?
The only other ones is Mike's parents, and I think maybe his sister. I don't know if he gave her one or not, but that would be the only ones with key.
And does his sister live nearby?
She's in Marion.
Oh, she lives in Marion?
Mhm.
Okay. Have you had any recent services or maintenance done to anything in the house?
Not anything recent, no.
Okay. No heating and air checks, or your oven get checked out or anything like that?
No.
Okay, all right.
What's Mike's sister's name?
Kim Teeling, Teeeling.
Is there any safes, firearms, anything that somebody breaking in would be like, this is what I want to try to steal from here?
We don't have any safes. Mike does have, I don't know how many, but he does have firearms. I think maybe 4 or 5.
Long guns or handguns, do you know?
I know he's got one handgun he usually does keep by the bed, and then I don't know what else he has. I know he has like one that's kind of like a rifle, but that's all I really know.
Okay, all right.
Where does he usually keep the rifle? Is there a gun cabinet?
No, they're usually kept in our closet.
Okay. I'm going to assume that's the master bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
The mention of firearms is significant. If this were truly a home invasion, a perpetrator who knew the house had guns might have a motive beyond just the child. And yet, nothing was reportedly stolen. The knife, which Julia describes as large and kitchen-style, doesn't appear to have been recovered outside the home. There's no indication the suspect took anything. For a home invasion robbery, that's unusual. For something more personal, it's a different story. And the detectives are about to dig into the physical evidence left on Julia herself.
So at any time did you wash your hands? Have you washed your hands since?
I rinsed them in the sink after I got into the house, and then I put the rag on it real quick, and then that's when I went to go find Jade.
Okay, and that was in your bathroom?
In the master bathroom.
Okay, all right. Because we're going to try to see if we can get some DNA. I'm sure we called in ISP crime scene to come process the house, for possible, DNA. We're going to need DNA from you, as well as, Jade and every other member of the home.
Hoping this guy picked something up, touched something. Did it look like he had gloves on, or could you see his hands?
No, I couldn't see his hands.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what type of gloves, but it did look like gloves.
Okay. Did it look like light-colored gloves, dark-colored gloves?
They were dark as well.
Okay.
And when you confronted him there in the doorway, that's when your hands got cut?
Yes.
From the blade of the knife? All right.
Did you notice any, well, let me back up a second. As you were heading back to the house, did you notice any unusual vehicles parked anywhere on the road? Any of them that may have stood out that you're like, I've never seen that one before in this area?
No, I didn't see anything parked on, like, sides of the road or anything like that. Nothing unusual.
Okay.
Do you work from home?
Yes.
Okay. And where is it that you work at?
Hyatt.
Hyatt
Reservations, hotel, yeah.
Okay, all right. And you work from home?
Yes.
Okay. Is it like a call-in, they call you, or?
Yeah, it's a call center, but I also do, like, social media for them as well.
Okay, all right. So do you guys have Wi-Fi, a good Wi-Fi connection there at the house? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that the main source of internet, is the Wi-Fi at the house?
Yes.
Okay. How's the cell phone signal out in that area?
It's usually pretty good.
Okay. Does everybody usually have their phones connected to the Wi-Fi?
Yes, we
Okay.
try to make them connect as much as possible so they don't use the data.
Have you received any unusual phone calls lately?
No, most of the time, we get like a notification that says potential spam or something, so we just don't ever answer, but nothing unusual.
Okay. Nobody calling you to sell you anything?
No.
All right.
Who's your Wi-Fi carrier?
Whisper.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it was really hard to find someone that goes out there. Most of them, it like stopped at the county line, so like we're right outside the county line, so they won't come out there.
Something important to note here. Julia works from home for Hyatt Hotels as a call center agent and social media manager. She clocks in and out digitally. That means there is a precise, time-stamped record of exactly when she logged off work on this day. The detectives are going to circle back to this, and when they do, it will become one of the most important moments in establishing a timeline. Also notice, her Wi-Fi provider is a rural service called Whisper, which means investigators can potentially pull connection logs, device pings, and phone data tied to that network. In 2021, digital footprints are everywhere. Every login, every ping, every movement of a smartphone. It all leaves a trace. Let's keep watching.
What time did you get off work today?
I think I clocked out at 11, and that's about the time I went to the store, because I pretty much got ready and left, so 15 minutes or so.
I'm sorry, you said 8 to 6:30, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and what was the other hours?
8 to 1, Wednesday and Saturday.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a desktop that you work from home with, or is it on your phone?
No, it's a desktop. Well, it's not a desktop, but it's
Or like a
it's
laptop?
like a little tiny computer that they give us,
Oh.
basically.
And is that ran off your Wi-Fi also?
Yes.
Okay. And that belongs to Hyatt?
Yes, the computer,
Okay.
yeah.
And where do you normally work from?
There's an office space that we have in the, when you walk in past the front room, it's the first door.
Okay. Oh, okay. Like right across from the kitchen?
Yeah, it's right off the kitchen.
Okay, all right. So you got off early today, and then that's when you think you left to go?
Yeah, and then I pretty much got dressed and got ready and then left from there.
Okay.
Okay. Run this back through from when you leave Walmart, so we can get a pretty good understanding of this.
So I left Walmart, came home. I saw the main front door was open, screen door was closed. I went to go inside, grab the door. As I was opening it, he was coming out that's when I tried to grab the knife, cut my hand. He ran past me, I ran in. I went to my bathroom, washed my hand real quick, just real quick rinse, wrapped the towel on it, and then I ran to go find Jade. And that's when I saw her in the bathroom. I tried to check for pulse, and then that's when I called 911.
When Jade was in the bathroom, how was she in comparison to the bathroom? Can you describe how she was?
Like, can you describe
How
the
she-
tub, like, let's say the tub runs this way.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us how she was positioned?
She was slumped over, just like leaning forward, but she was towards like the faucet of the tub,
Okay.
like towards the front of the tub.
So we'll say the faucet's up here. Is she facing the faucet?
No, she was just facing down, but she was almost like leaning on the edge of the tub.
Okay. Okay. I'm having trouble
I'm-
visualizing this. If you could show us, that'd be great.
So, like, she was in the tub, but, like, she was, like, I mean, not like this sitting,
Yeah.
but, I mean, I don't know how she was,
Okay.
maybe like this, but she was, like, slumped. So, like, it was almost like her head was resting on the edge of the tub.
Okay. So the faucet's up here.
The faucet
and-
was right here.
Oh, right there, okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then she
Okay.
was just kind of slumped
Okay.
forward.
So if the faucet's right there, I'm horrible with directions.
What part of the house does the faucet face? Does it face her bedroom or your bedroom?
No, it faces, like, the far end of the house.
Towards the kids' bedroom?
Yeah, towards, like, the back room.
Okay, so the faucet
like-
faces north.
I'm not sure.
Does it face towards 13? You know, Route 13? Does it face, or the ball fields?
Towards the ball field?
Does it face towards the ball fields or away from the ball fields? Like which?
No, like, the way the tub is set up, is like it's up against the front of the house. So, like, the faucet is actually facing towards the driveway.
Investigators are building a physical map of the scene in their minds. They need to understand the exact position of Jade's body in relation to the tub, the faucet, the direction she was facing, and how that aligns with the nature of the wounds on her back. Julia has told them the wounds were horizontal, like cuts running shoulder blade to shoulder blade. She says the wounds looked like they came from above, from a downward motion. Now think about that. If Jade was slumped over, face down in a tub, how does someone stab her in the back with horizontal, across the back wounds? And from what position? These are the kinds of questions that forensic analysts will work to answer. And right now, the detectives are listening very carefully to every spatial detail Julia provides.
And when you left, you were in these clothes and
Yes.
you didn't change clothes at all?
No, I
Okay.
haven't changed.
And when you last saw Jade, she was in her pink gown?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if she had anything else on? If she was wearing anything else?
Not that I know of. I mean, it's just her pajamas.
Okay. And I hate to be so descriptive, but does she sleep in a bra or underwear, do you know?
I know she sleeps with underwear. With the bra, I think it just kind of depends. Sometimes she'll fall asleep with it on, but I think most times she'll take it off when she's going to bed.
Okay, all right.
Can you do me a favor, just so, because like I said, I'm horrible with directions. If this is your driveway, and this would be your house, can you just kind of diagram like how she was, where the bathroom is?
So here is a bathroom,
Okay.
and like this is the tub.
Okay.
So like shower head, faucet, that's all on this side of the tub.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then the front door's more...
And the front door's like here.
Okay.
And then this
Gotcha.
is the girls' room behind her.
Okay.
And
And
then
she
her-
was in here?
Yeah, she was in the
Her-
bathroom, and then this
Okay.
would be her room.
Okay. And which way was her head facing?
She would have been like leaning over, like here.
That's where her head was at?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
was her back towards the main front part of the house?
Yes, like it would be towards the front of the house, her back.
Okay.
Oh,
But I mean, she was slumped. Yeah, like it would have been, but yeah, like she was slumped forward. So.
okay. So her back's facing this way,
Yes.
and her head is.
But she was leaned over her back, or I mean, over
No,
her legs?
So if she was standing up, she would be facing this
Yes.
way. Okay. Okay. Now I get it.
Yeah, sorry.
And when was the last time that you had seen her awake?
This morning when she had gotten breakfast,
Okay. What'd she have for breakfast?
cereal, I think.
Okay. Remember what kind?
No, I don't.
If you're like me, you got 10 kinds of cereal in the
Yeah.
house for the kids. Where'd she eat at in the house?
In her room.
Okay. Did she leave the bowl in there? Is she?
No, I think she brought it out.
Okay.
She's usually good about it. JD's not.
It's now been well over an hour in this interrogation room. Julia has given her account multiple times. She's been consistent on some points, but the detectives aren't satisfied. They're about to bring in the ISP crime scene technician, a state police officer named Matt, to photograph Julia's injuries, document her clothing, and collect DNA swabs. And what they're about to find, and what Julia is about to say, will shift the entire tone of this interview. Because the injuries on Julia's arms aren't all from a knife fight with an intruder. And she knows it.
Yeah, can you pull your sleeves up?
Oh wow, you guys are pretty good over here.
I think this was the initial one, and then I grabbed it too and cut my inside,
Okay.
and this one I reached over and then kind of got cut on the inside there as well.
And the marks on your arm?
I self-hurt myself. I bit and I cut sometimes. That's what that is from.
Okay.
Do you remember when you did that?
That one was last night, like in the middle of the night.
My brother used to self-harm himself.
Mike doesn't really know I do that.
Do what?
Mike doesn't really know.
Oh,
that I do
yeah.
that.
Not our place to tell him. That's a conversation between you and him.
We're not trying to judge you in any way. We're just trying to figure out if that might have come from the suspect.
No, that's for me.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
This is an extremely revealing moment. Julia voluntarily discloses that she self-harms, and that she had done so just the night before. She also says that Mike, her partner and Jade's father, doesn't know. This detail is significant for investigators for two reasons. First, it confirms that some of the marks on Julia's body did not come from the alleged altercation at the front door. Second, it introduces a picture of someone in significant emotional distress. Someone who was cutting herself in the middle of the night before a child in her care was found stabbed to death the next day. The detectives handle it with care and don't press, but it's now part of the record. Let's continue as the crime scene technician arrives.
First of all, is it alright if I just take some pictures of you just to document what you're wearing and... Okay. Right, and then if you could just we're going to do a quarter turn, yep. So we're going to go side, then back, and then all the way around. Okay. And then back forward. And if you could put your hands out, just like that, okay. And up. Can you lower them? See, I'm short, so.
Do you want her to pull her sleeves back?
Yeah, we can do that in a second, but we'll do the stuff on our
I didn't
hands.
know for her first. tell if the sleeves were covering anything or not.
Can you turn it sideways so I can see it? Go ahead and do that one more time. I'm going to put the scale on there. Yeah, go ahead and, if you want, you have a shirt on underneath your hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go ahead and take that off? You didn't have anything in your pockets that you need to do, okay? All right. Go a little bit lower, sorry. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these overalls and I'm going to go close up on each arm.
Okay.
Let's go up, yep, just like that. The camera is being tricked. Do you have any more scrapes or any other injuries on your arms?
No, I mean, that's it.
Okay. And then what about, I'm going to get, you've got a little cut here on your chin that I'm going to take a picture of, and then up here by your eyebrow.
Okay.
So if you want to close your eyes, you can so the flash doesn't blind you, but... Okay, I'm going to take 2 of each, one without. If you need a blink, let me know. I'll let you open your eyes.
Thought you were talking to me, so I opened them.
All right, 1 second. And then I'm going to go by your eyebrow. Alright, so this is just sterile water and then a cotton swab. If you put this arm back up here. Do any of those still hurt?
No, my hands?
Yeah. Where the cuts are? That hurt right there?
No, that's...
Okay. If something hurts that I'm doing, just tell me and I'll stop, okay? And don't, that's not my goal, is for anything to hurt. Try to get some of this. Again, I won't hit any of your actual cuts, but if this hurts, just let me know. Over here. see. Oh, that's a scrape. Okay, sorry.
Alright. Kind of delayed reaction.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought that was something that was gonna come off. Same thing on your right arm here. Put that arm up, yeah. Do you have any, like it, so what is this from?
This is from before. This isn't
Okay.
right now.
Let me get, what's this tattoo of?
My son's zodiac sign.
Which zodiac sign is that?
Capricorn.
Capricorn?
Mhm.
I think I'm a Virgo. Right. Little cut right there. Get your hand, you can if you wanted to use it that way, yeah, okay. This nail doesn't grow like the other ones, does it?
I'm a nail biter.
Oh, geez. Just that one?
No, that's just the most recent one.
Well, you let them get pretty long before you start gnawing on them. They went over everything, obviously, on the consent with you. Did they say fingerprints? Was it in
No,
here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's just the DNA.
Can I get, now I see you've got, I'm sure this is from your hand here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get some pictures of that? Because I missed that the first time. Alright, I'm just going to do another overall here. And perfect. And if it's okay, I'm going to have you hold a one of these little rulers just next to it. Yep, just like that. Thank you. And there's one right here in your, yep. I'm going to take 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let me get them back in here. see. Okay, so this, you can take these out, and you can just run them inside your cheek. So we're just
Together
wanna,
or separate?
you can keep them together, yep, and just, basically we just wanna rub them on the inside of both cheeks, and we're just getting some saliva on them. It sucks, it's like cotton mouth. Thank you. Let me grab them real fast. Is it this block, right? Is that right? Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Julia, for doing that.
More water, you want some colder water?
You okay, do you need a bathroom break or anything?
No.
All right.
The DNA collection is critical. If Julia really did grab at an intruder wearing gloves, and if even the slightest skin contact occurred, a brush of the wrist, contact where the glove slipped, there may be foreign DNA on her hands or clothing. The detective had the presence of mind to think of this mid-interview. If you grabbed at him and it got under that glove at all, we're going to have his. That's smart investigative thinking. But DNA results take time. Weeks, sometimes months, in a backlogged state lab. What happens in that window is what will define this case. Now the detectives return to push through the story one more time, and this time they're going to ask Julia to describe the wounds on Jade's back in far more specific detail.
They've expanded the search area, so can you start, I hate to ask you to kind of relive everything again, can you start from when you checked out from Hyatt, I'm sorry, Hyatt.
Clocked out, went and got dressed.
And how do you clock out? I'm not familiar with it.
It's just like a
Just kind of like
step
logging
time,
off, basically?
yeah, log on,
Okay.
log off type thing.
Okay.
I clocked out, went, got dressed. Didn't take me real long to get dressed.
And where did you get dressed at?
In the bedroom, my bedroom. Then went, checked on Jade, she was sleeping, and then I left.
Okay. Can you describe when you left? Because with expanding the search area, if we find any tire tracks or anything like that, we need to know, like, did you back out this direction? Did you just back all the way out? This way, if we find tire tracks, we know whether or not they're yours or possible suspect vehicle.
Whenever I back out, I always go out and then, like, head towards the ball fields.
Okay. So you back all the way down the driveway?
Yes, all the way down.
And then onto the road?
Correct.
Okay. And then just tell us which way you go, like where you turn, stuff like that.
Go down to Corey League, turn right, follow that all the way till Norman, turn left, and then get on the interstate, highway, 13.
Okay, and then you take 13 all the way to...
Then it went all the way to Carbondale.
Okay. And then where do you turn at in Carbondale?
You turn right by Taco Bell and McDonald's, and then turn again into Walmart.
And run me through that part again, please.
So I went to grab it, got the first cut, and then I went to use my other hand and then just kind of just tried to grab it some sort of way. And while we were kind of like this, he ran past me.
Okay.
And as I was going this way to get in.
How high do you think your hands were as you were fighting on the knife?
Like here, right above my head.
Okay. Did he have the knife, like, raised at you? Did he have it like this?
It was raised, like he was coming out like that.
Like he was wanting to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So he comes to the door. Did he have the knife left hand?
Right hand.
Right hand?
Because to open the door, I used my right hand.
Okay.
So that's why I went with the left hand. And he had it, he was like this, so I just went straight for it.
Okay. So you go straight for it, get cut a couple times, and then does he like just bump you out of the way? Does he kind of go against the house?
I don't think he did go against the house.
Okay.
Not really sure though,
Okay.
because he just right by me.
Okay. Okay. But he brushed up against your shoulder?
I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's just so much happened, but I'm pretty sure he did when he ran past.
Okay. And we were talking earlier, you said you had seen some wounds on her back. Can you describe those wounds?
I mean, horizontal.
Horizontal, okay.
You could tell stab wounds.
Okay, so you could tell it was stab wounds. It wasn't like bullet wounds. It wasn't circular.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could tell.
Like clean cut or?
So they were like
no,
athletic?
like a stab, not like a split.
Okay.
No,
like
just more like
a jab kind of?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think when Jade was getting stabbed, was it like this? Was it kind of off to the side? Because, you know, some people swing lower direction, some kind of go from the side, some's over like this. Which way do you think it was?
From what I could see on her back, it definitely looked like it.
Okay, it was definitely up and down like this. Was it kind of real quick? Was it like go in, kind of wiggle a little bit? I mean, which way did you do it?
I didn't do this.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, we know you've been through a lot.
Don't tell me that I did this to her. I did not do this to her.
There's some things that we're gonna have to figure out, okay?
No! Stop right now!
Well, then help us through it then. Help us through it.
No!
Okay, help us through it. Was she
No, I'm not talking anymore. If you think I did this to her, I am not talking to you anymore.
Do you want to
She
step
was
out?
not my blood daughter, but she was still a daughter to me.
Okay. I'm gonna let you talk to her. Okay, I'll step out.
And there it is. The moment Julia Beverly shut down. The moment the interview ended. Julia Beverly received a 55-year prison sentence, handed down in October 2023 by a judge in Williamson County, Illinois. Rest in peace, Jade.